So when we start looking at calming the nervous system, often people think of meditation. Now, personally, I was terrible at meditating when I first started. I have what I call monkey brain, and if I tried to close my eyes and think of nothing, my brain would pop around to a million things that I had to do. However, one day I was actually in an Aikido class and the sensei guided us through this meditation that totally made sense to me. And it was the first time that I felt really centered and it calmed my nervous system immensely. I've used this with students as young as 8 or 9 years old through to adults, and I find it's really accessible because it's not really spiritually inclined and it's very practical and real visualization. Often dancers are great at using their minds to visualize, so it's a really nice one to use. So I'm going to guide you through this, but the basic setup is that we're in a lake with the water at the level of our eyes. We're then going to imagine a sinker that actually travels down through our body, or you can imagine yourself sinking deeper into the lake. Now, the only issues I've had with this is if people have had any close experiences with drowning. If this is you, another visualization that you can use is lying on your back, floating up a river to its source and then coming back down. So you can use whichever one you like. So we're going to guide Jade through it now. I encourage you to get nice and comfortable in a supportive chair. If you've got little legs, make sure you've got something underneath your feet so they're nice and grounded. Just leave your hands on your thighs and then we'll close our eyes to start. Start sitting on a chair with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxed. Gently close your eyes and keep them closed throughout the process. Turn your attention to your feet and the contact of your skin on the floor. Relax your toes and feel the heaviness of your feet. Notice the back of your thighs in contact with the chair, the points that they touch and the point where they don't. Have your hands resting comfortably on your thighs, aware of the warmth between these two parts of your body. Take a moment to notice your breathing. Don't try to change it, just notice the gentle passage of air in and out of your body. Bring your attention to the point between your eyes, known to some as your third eye. Imagine that the level of the eyes is the surface of a beautiful lake. Often when we're confused, stressed, or there is simply a lot going on, you can imagine that the surface of the lake has been roughened up by the weather. Notice any wind, the disturbed surface of the lake, and the water being chopped up in many different directions. Observe how messy the surface is and any factors influencing this. Sometimes you may even be aware of a storm brewing over the mountains. Visualize a sinker at the level of your eyes. This represents your point of awareness. Slowly lower the sinker through the surface of the lake and start moving deeper into the water, passing down the back of your throat to settle at the level of your heart. This is the level of the currents in the lake. There is movement, but it is a little more fluid than on the surface. It is also the level of your heart and of your feelings. Notice what you feel in this area, especially any movement, constriction, shaking, or openness. Don't try to change it, just become aware of it. Notice any visual representations, such as seaweed or fish moving around at this level, perhaps some little fish darting around in the shallow water. Then slowly lower the sinker deeper in the lake, down through the solar plexus, deeper and deeper, to come to rest down in the base of the pelvis. As you drop deeper into the lake, it gets a little darker, a little more quiet, and a little more still. See if you can stay on the floor of the lake and just watch what is going on around you. Sometimes there might be a big old slow fish moving past. You may see an old shipwreck off in the distance. Sometimes it's completely dark. Just observe what is around you. If you like, you can even travel deeper through a crack in the floor of the lake, deeper into the earth, where it is really dark and quiet, and you can stay there as long as you like. When you're ready to bring yourself back, slowly bring the sinker back up out of the bedrock to the floor of the lake. Then come slowly back up through each level of the lake, passing the solar plexus back up to your heart center. Notice any differences to when you were here before. This is the level of your feelings, so there may still be movement, but maybe it's a little softer, a little less dramatic than before. See the water move slowly and calmly. Notice your breath and whether it is a little easier as you pass this space a second time. And then, very slowly, bring the sinker and your awareness back up to behind the level of the eyes. But this time, as you come to the level of the surface of the lake, notice that it is calm and still. The level of your thoughts can be alert and aware, yet remain calm and clear. Often you can see across the entire surface of the lake. Notice any reflections on the surface and how still and calm it can be with awareness. And then, when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. And then when you come out of it, it's really nice to just have a little bit of a mental scan. How do you feel? Did it bring anything up for you, or do you feel quite nice and chilled and relaxed? Yeah, good. Then it's another nice thing is to actually try a roll down when you are doing that for your assessment to see if it's changed for you. I find a lot of teachers especially and a lot of students who've been holding a heightened level of tension will find that just by doing this simple meditation, their improvement in their roll down actually can improve quite a bit. So if that was something that was a bit of an issue for you, maybe try a roll down and note this down as something that you might want to include in your program.